Today's the 10th of June. I'd say our corn's off to a pretty good start. As the old saying goes, knee-high by the 4th of July. But I'm about 6'2", and this corn's already up to my waist. And it's just now getting some nitrogen put on. It ought to really shoot up now. Hopefully the audio turns out okay. This tractor doesn't have the most soundproof cab, but I believe they got the nitrogen on most of our corn acres yesterday. We ended up getting a couple tenths of an inch of rain last night. So today's main mission is mowing pasture. Van and I will be running the bat wing. We got two 15-foot bat wing mowers, and then my dad will be. He's got an 8-foot bush hog, and then I just saw my uncle roll in with the loader to clean up brush and trees that have blown over so far this spring. I'm going to guess that we have around 500 acres, give or take 100 acres of mowable pasture. So that's a pretty big job for us in the summer. We try to get everything mowed at least twice. And then a lot of the stuff that's along the road, we'll mow it 3 times just to keep everything looking nice. I suppose with today's technology, I could get me a buggy and some sort of GPS receiver and drive around the edge of the fields and get a more exact number. To me, the more important number is how many head of cattle that'll raise. And right now, we got about 150 head of beef cows. I think back in my grandpa's days, they raised closer to 200. I would eventually like to get back to that number, but right now 150 head is about all that we can handle. The hardest part about flying this drone is finding a place to take off and land. All the grass is too high and it'll get wrapped up in the propeller, so been using the side of the bush hog a little tight. A lot of things we can hit, but so far I haven't broke anything. So pretty good chance there was some poison ivy leaves on that bush hog as I was wiping it off, so pretty good chance. I'll have it all over my arms. You'd think by now I would learn wear some gloves and long sleeve shirt. Oh well. So just getting back from lunch, had some leftover pizza. I think it was about 4 days old. My personal limit's about 5 days, but it wasn't anything that the microwave couldn't bring back to life. So I think the plan for this afternoon is more bush hogging. Change of plans. I guess we're going to try to bale some hay. We got a little bit of rain last night, but we were going to wrap these bales anyway, so I think it's supposed to rain for the next couple days. So we got about, I think there's probably 8 or 9 acres we're going to try to get done this afternoon. So this is my dad. His name's Clark. How long have you and Uncle Speed been farming on your own?
Well, probably when my dad left and he moved to Florida for 20 years. So it's probably been about 40 years since we started doing it on our own.
Okay. Second question. So I was talking on the camera about mowing pasture and our cattle operation, and I came up with a number of how many acres of pasture I think we have. So I'm not going to tell you what it was, so I'm going to ask you what you think, since you've mowed it 30 more times than I have.
Well, it's never been, we go in a government office and they're always going to come up with how much pasture we have, but we never sit down and figure it out. So I'm going to say 200 or 300 acres, but we're mowing that twice a year.
Yeah. So I said 500, give or take 100 acres.
Yeah.
So like
we're 100 acres off then.
Yeah, so like you said, we know how many acres totals in each parcel, but they don't break that down as far as, or they try to break it down, I guess, but they don't really separate it between the grass and the wooded areas. Van's over here raking hay with the International 656. How old do you think that thing is?
We got that tractor in 1969. That's when I came back from school and got on the farm full time.
All right, so it's Sunday morning, about 0800. Me and Van just finished up a little patch job on the fence, and right now we took a little break looking for some arrowheads. He finds them all the time, but I don't think I've ever found one in my life. He's got a full-time job at the county engineer's office. How long have you been there?
It'll be 27 years in October.
All right, so how many more years do you got till you can retire?
I'm supposed to have 32, but we're just gonna have to see what happens here.
So I was talking about how many acres of mowable pasture I think we have. I came up with a number. I asked Dad. We were off quite a bit. So what is your estimate?
Maybe 450, just guessing. I don't know.
I'm going to introduce the final member of the Jones team. This is my Uncle Speed. That's not his real name. His real name is Carmi, and I think you're actually Carmi the third. Is that right?
That's correct.
And then CJ would be Uncle Speed's grandson, and so that makes CJ Carmi the fifth, right?
Fourth.
No.
Van's the fourth.
Fifth, yeah.
Yeah. We've always called him Uncle Speed. So the name Speed, where did that come from?
Well, when I was about maybe 5, 6 years old, we had a lot of employees here because this was a produce farm, and they would ask me to go get them maybe a ranch or something, and I'd always run. I wouldn't walk. And then they started calling me Speedy, and it stuck.
Yeah.
So that's how I got my nickname.
So the question of the day is, how many acres of mowable pasture do you think we have?
I am guessing 750 to 800 acres of pasture ground.
And what is the max number of cattle you've ever seen on this place?
At one time we had 180 brood cows. Right now we're down about 30 head. So as we got older, we kind of backed off a little bit.
Okay, we finally got a nice weather day. So we got a short flight scheduled. We'll be taking off out of Rickenbacker, coming down here to the Buckeye Moa, which is over southern Ohio, and actually the Jones farm is about right here, so we may get some footage of the farm at about 25,000 feet. We're going to refuel 4 F-16s in this area and then come back to Rickenbacker. Should be about a 2-hour flight. You won't see me doing any flying today. My role today will be as the evaluator pilot. One of our senior co-pilots has been in upgrade training for about a month now, and this will be his check ride to determine if he'll become an aircraft commander. His call sign is Utah, but I know that he's not from Utah, and I don't even know if he's ever been in the state of Utah. But that name is actually an acronym, but I won't go into detail on what it stands for just to keep things YouTube friendly.
Eddie 41 Heavy, Rick Ground, runway 23 left, taxi Alpha Golf, cross 23 right. Eddie 41 Heavy, runway 23 left, wind 330 at 7, clear for takeoff.
Pasture, Eddie 41, 32,000 for 3,000, we're heading off Rickenbacker.
Eddie 41 Heavy, Columbus Pasture radar contact, climb maintain 6,000 for crossing traffic.
Up to 6,000, Eddie 41, out of 20.
Heavy, traffic at 10 o'clock at 2 miles northbound at 8, only higher past 10.
Eddie 41, you're cleared into the Buckeye with Brush Creek, 5,000 to flight level 500, Charlie Alpha, flight level 100 to flight level 500, and Charlie Bravo, flight level 100 to flight level 280, report fireman's fire RGB on this frequency. The right Patterson altimeter is 29903.
Eddie 41, Steve 51.
Go for Eddie 41.
Steve 51, looking to yo-yo to the tank, look for about 2K.
You got it, cleared as requested.
Street, flight level 230. Clear to Rickenbacker via direct and maintain 6,000. The Columbus altimeter is 29903.
Eddie 415, President heading center, maintain 3,000, plan on a visual approach 23 left at Rickenbacker. 41 Heavy contact, Rick Tower 120.05, we'll see ya.
Eddie 41, switching tower, good day, sir. Rick Tower, Eddie 41's on a left base, gear down, full stop.
Eddie 41 Heavy, Rickenbacker Tower, runway 23 left, wind 060 S7, clear to land.
If you're still with me, thanks for watching. This video probably turned out to be a little long, but I had a lot of stuff I wanted to get in there. You got to meet some of the rest of the family and then watch us refuel some F-16s pretty much right over the farm. Overall, the flight went really well and Utah did a great job. And until next time, America!